I would recommend, there's a number of large companies out there that are presently purchasing companies, to spend some time and meet with a number of them. I'd give you a very good feel for what the value is of your business. They'll help you to see what's okay and what isn't okay and how you operate your business, which oftentimes is a good way then a year or two down the road, once you've solved and corrected some of the areas that don't make it as good of a value for someone, to fix those things. And then if you're fortunate enough to have family in the business, then some kind of a succession plan, working with someone that has the ability to take your business and keep it going into the future, going to accountants and attorneys and everyone else in order to make it a good transition.
I would say think long and hard about that. I have absolutely no interest in selling my family's history. I mean, we've been doing this with my grandfather starting at 45 years ago. My father ran it for 35 years, and I've been in the business for 25 years. So it's hard for me to say, because I wouldn't sell my business. My goal would be to have my son take over the business, but that decision should be very deeply thought about, for many reasons. You know, money isn't always happiness, and you know, if you have a hold of something that you take pride in and you truly believe in, you know, it's worth a fight. It's worth keeping a hold of, you know, and keeping it in your family or with your employees.
Honestly, the challenge for most people is they think they've got to get to 60 or 70 years old and then they can retire, right? And they don't think about what if their health were to fail them, or something happened in their life that changed the future. And so if you're not thinking about succession plans, whether it be family or through selling a business, etc., if you're not thinking about that, it's going to surprise you one day. And I think that's when it's hard to make a good decision, because you've got to make one quickly. And so my advice would be, nothing wrong with knowing the options, well ahead of the need. It's there if you need it. And I would say, look, you can certainly evaluate all those choices and really have that kind of playbook in your mind that if this happens, here's what I'm going to do with it. There are a lot of folks out there who have family in their business, so it'll be sons or daughters. I'm a huge fan of the transition to the second, third, fourth generation, and I'm really happy to see many companies have continued to do that. But it takes a good, well thought out plan, right? You can't just turn a business over to one of your children without having some good thought and have a process that you put in place to do that. And if that's not an option, obviously there's companies like mine that are anxious to really help protect the legacy of that company and really help that company have a chance to grow and help the employees grow in ways maybe they couldn't do if that business were to stay intact.
Just train your folks. Train the people that are going to pass the knowledge on, right? It's the only way you can keep things going in the world is tell the younger generation, tell the younger folks, the people that are coming up behind you, what you know, and challenge them to, let's just say, be smarter than you. Find something you didn't know. Every day we're learning something, right? One thing someone can't take away is your knowledge, right? So I try to learn something new every day, and I tell my guys all the time, I am not the smartest guy in the room, but I try to learn something every day, and there's probably going to be something tomorrow I'm going to learn. So just look for the answers. Don't be complacent.
The key to that is really knowing what you want, and continue to work hard through that process. Communication with your family, but put yourself in a position that you could get the most for your business by having everything digital, by knowing your accounts and when they're due, what customers you have, and just knowing your numbers of your business, right? How much money did you do last month? How much are you going to do this much? How much of it was profit or loss? And get some healthy competition, and pray about it and go with what works whatever you feel the Lord telling you to do, that's what you should do.
I think the important question there is if they want to, if it's all about the money for them or if it's a legacy, right? And all companies come to a point where if there is no more family members or whatever to pass along to, that there is a point where they may sell that company. But the importance of what they're selling, keeping that core value of what built that company, and make sure that whoever they're working with or sell to is going to help maintain that same process. Even if you sell your company, that name that you originally had in the building, whether it's changed, that legacy is still what you put out there. So I think it's just important to do your best to keep that legacy of the company that you built.